On NewsCenter, learn about the latest with Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. Take a look at the Abstractions art exhibit on campus and see how Career Services is helping students prepare for their future. All this and more now on NewsCenter.
Good evening and welcome to NewsCenter. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacob Miller.
And I'm Mary Dameron. Here's what's making your news for September 17th, 2015.
We start tonight with a story that we've been following for a while now. Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis returned to work Monday for the first time since being released from prison last Tuesday. NewsCenter's Chad Hedrick has more.
It was Kim Davis's first day back to work since being released from prison last Tuesday. And while most people start their Mondays with a cup of coffee, she started hers by talking to the press.
Any marriage license issued by my office will not be issued or authorized by me. I want the whole world to know, be no mistake about it, that if my deputy clerks who do not have my authorization or the authority, they don't have my authority to issue any license whatsoever. I love my deputy clerks and I hate that they have been caught in the middle. If any of them feels that they must issue an unauthorized license to avoid being thrown in jail, I understand their tough choice and I will take no action against them.
After Davis walked back into her office, the Rowan County Rights Coalition had a few words to say of their own.
It is a criminal action by all rights, and it should be treated as such. They see it as an attack on their religious freedom, when in reality, our LGBT community has suffered persecution.
Inside Davis's office, Deputy Clerk Brian Mason was the only one issuing marriage licenses. One Kim Davis supporter had something to say to him about it.
And I'd like to say, sir, it is a shame that you are breaking Kentucky law. It's a shame. What we just witnessed today was a crime against Kentucky law. A deputy who has been issuing the licenses while Kim was in jail just issued another license, which is against Kentucky law. A crime was committed, and he's the one who should be in jail, not Kim Davis.
Around 10:30, a same-sex couple arrived at the courthouse and were issued a license, something they never thought would happen when they met 23 years ago.
I've never felt, honestly, before being involved with this process, more welcome here in my hometown. I mean, and it's incredible. It's surreal. It's, I mean, a little miraculous, not to overstate it, but it really is.
The license Carmen and Sharon Wampler Collins were issued had been altered and did not include Davis's name on it. Her name had been replaced by the phrase "pursuant to federal court order."
There was a heavy police presence both inside and outside the courthouse Monday to ensure safety. There were reports of verbal altercations, but there were no reports of violence.
The news of Kim Davis defying federal law has reached national, even international levels. NewsCenter's Alexis Matthews talked to students on campus about what they thought of the entire ordeal.
I think what Kim Davis is doing is very wrong. I believe that all gay people have the right to be married because they're people just like everybody else, and I'm offended because I have loved ones that would like to be married, and I don't think that she should deny that right to anybody.
I think she is turning something that could have been so positive into something negative, and that she's using the power of Christ in the wrong way. I think that she thinks she's doing good, but really she's just hurting everybody else around her.
I think that she should have stepped down. I also think she shouldn't have gotten out of jail. She broke the law. She took an oath. Follow the oath. Stick with what you said you would do, regardless of religious beliefs.
I think Kim Davis should step down, or, because she can't do her job, it's an $80,000 a year job, give it to somebody who can actually do it.
Basically, my view on it all is she's a county clerk, and so she needs to do her job. Where I see it all is, regardless of your opinion, regardless of where you're coming from with religious views, it's like applying to be the county executioner and you don't believe in the death penalty. Eventually, she knew that this situation was going to arise, and it is the law of the land. It's a national law, brought on by our Supreme Court that says that, a man and a woman can be legally wed. And I think if she's going to be our county clerk, then she needs to do her job.
No matter what her religious opinion is, that she should do her job, and the fact that she's not doing her job is reason enough to have to resign or go to jail or whatever the consequence is, because it's the law.
I think the media has blown it all out of proportion. They're not showing the actual truth behind it. So, they're showing that's either all about gays or it's all about religion, when really she just wasn't doing her job for everybody.
I want to say a lot of it is a stunt. You know, I watch CNN every morning when I'm up cooking breakfast after the gym or whatever, and every day somebody's here, somebody new is in Moorhead, Kentucky looking at Kim Davis. And then we had Mike Huckabee come down for the Olive Hill rally and, you know, acted like they're all of a sudden best friends. For me, a lot of it looks like a big media stunt, and I think she's going to keep it going as long as she can.
Kentucky's Republican candidate for governor, Matt Bevin, relied on Defiant County Clerk Kim Davis in an attempt to redefine the race during the campaign's first televised debate on Tuesday. Bevin attacked his Democratic rival, Jack Conway, for his stances on social issues, including his response to Davis's decision to stop issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples because of her religious beliefs. Bevin said Conway did not share the values of the majority of Kentucky's voters and urged people to elect him instead. Conway defended his decision to not defend the state's gay marriage ban by saying it would have saved the state money on a costly lawsuit it was destined to lose. He criticized Bevin for refusing to release his tax returns, saying he was hiding from Kentucky voters. Davis was also a talking point in last night's very heated Republican presidential debates. Some candidates, such as former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, and former Pennsylvanian Senator Rick Santorum, stood up for Davis, while others, such as New York Governor George Pataki and South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, advocated for the rule of law.
Kentucky State Police say the man accused of fatally shooting a Kentucky trooper was shot and killed after an hours-long manhunt. The spokesman says 25-year-old Joseph Thomas Johnson Shanks of Missouri was shot by police Monday morning when he refused to drop his weapon. He died at a local hospital. KSB State 31-year-old trooper Joseph Cameron Ponder was conducting a traffic stop Sunday night when the driver fled. During the chase, the subject stopped his car abruptly and fired several shots into Ponder's cruiser. He died later at the hospital. Police said Johnson Shanks then fled on foot. Numerous law enforcement agencies have been aiding in the search, using helicopters and dogs in the rural wooded area. Coming up, Chad Hedrick is in the NewsCenter Weather Center with your forecast, plus Dr. Shannon Stevens is stopping by for NewsCenter Notices.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna...
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play.
I love the campus!
And all its sights and sounds.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
I love philosophy.
We love diversity. I love English.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
Boom-de-yada, boom-de-yada.
I love fraternities.
I love sororities.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada.
And welcome back to NewsCenter. I'm Chad Hedrick. We're going to take a look currently outside. If you take a walk around campus, you're going to have pretty warm temperatures at 81 degrees with those sunny skies. Taking a look at those record temperatures set back in 1954, a high of 94 degrees. Nowhere near that today. We're actually right on average around 80 degrees. That record low was at 41 back in 2000. Again, we're right on average with 58. Current conditions and temperatures across the entire Commonwealth. Right now, 81 in Ashland, traveling down towards Lexington on 64, still 81. Owensboro is the hot spot right now with 86 degrees. Going a little bit north, Covington in the Cincinnati area at 81 as well. First Alert Defender radar, courtesy of WKYT, is completely dry all across the entire Commonwealth, and it's going to stay that way for a while. I'll have a little bit more in depth on that in just a little bit, but planning out your next 24 hours, 8 o'clock tonight, 76 degrees as we move into the early morning hours for your Friday. Going to be mid 50s to the low 60s, depends on where you are in town. So you might want to grab just a little long sleeve jacket for your morning classes. This time tomorrow we'll be back in the low 80s, and once that sun goes down, we'll be at 73. I'll have more in-depth look here in just a little bit, but for now, let's send it over to the news desk with Jacob for NewsCenter Notices.
Thanks, Chad. I'm joined now by Dr. Shannon Smith-Stevens from the Office of Counseling and Health Services. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. So you're here today to talk about the Dental Services Initiative on campus.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on what that is?
Absolutely. Dental services have been made possible for the students of Morehead State University through a grant from the Appalachian Regional Commission. And this is actually a joint endeavor between several groups, Morehead State University and also St. Clair Regional Medical Center, as well as the University of Kentucky School of Dentistry. So that has allowed us to put in a full operatory dental suite within Allie Young in Counseling and Health Services.
Wonderful. That sounds great. So these services are accessible to students.
Absolutely.
So what kind of services are provided here?
We have a dentist on campus right now 1 day a week, along with a dental assistant, and we also have a dental hygienist on campus 1 day a week. We're hoping soon, over the next year or so, to be able to get our hygienist there for full-time services Monday through Friday. And we're providing dental cleanings, dental hygiene services, oral exams, oral x-rays, some simple dental extractions, as well as simple fillings and restorations as well.
That's great. That's awesome that you guys are being able to provide that for the students here.
Very excited, yes.
So a way that you guys are letting students know about this is you have an event coming up, the block party.
Yes.
So what is that?
Yes, the block party is actually Morehead State and Counseling and Health Services way of introducing Morehead State to the dental services that we have here on campus. And tomorrow, Friday, in front of Allie Young on the lawn, you'll see several tents and tables set up. And from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll have several of our dental staff there. And we'd love for everyone, faculty, staff, students especially, to stop by and visit with us. We'll have we will have different giveaways. We'll have some free t-shirts. We'll have some toothbrushes. We'll have some educational components to promote oral health as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all the information. Thank you for providing that service. After the break, we're going to look at an extended look at weather with Chad.
Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? I have always depended on the kindness of strangers.
NewsCenter. We've got that extensive look into your forecast, 82 degrees right now. Sun's still trying to hang on to for some strength. Low humidity though, which is great because we've experienced a lot of humidity over the summer. Winds are pretty calm coming out of the southeast at 4 miles an hour. Current conditions across the entire Commonwealth. As I step out, you can see 81 in Ashland moving west onto 64, Mount Sterling 79, Lexington 81. And then in the southeastern part of the state with Harlan at 79 and Middlesboro 79 as well. Owensboro is still that hot spot with 86 degrees. First Alert Defender radar, courtesy of WKYT, is completely dry on either side of the state. Going to stay that way for a while. I'll show you just how long in just a little bit. But we're looking at the whole nation as a whole right now. Florida, not much sunshine happening in the Sunshine State right now with some tropical system moving through. Also, towards in the Midwest, we've got some showers coming through as well. California, though, where some major wildfires have been going on, still no rain, so hopefully we'll get some stuff coming their way soon. Look at this, though. There was an earthquake overnight in Chile, and it was about 4,800 miles away from Kentucky, but there were still, as you can see, some shakes in the state of Kentucky. There has also been tsunami warnings for part of California and even Hawaii. Planning your evening ahead and your hours, we've got 56 degrees at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so make sure you bring just a little light jacket for your morning classes. We'll rise to 76 degrees by noon and then around 83 for this time tomorrow. So again, we're still trying to hold on to that summer for just a little bit. Tonight, clear skies, 56 degrees. Sunset's going to set at 7:39. And tomorrow, warm sunshine, high of 86. That sunset, or sunrise, I should say, at 7:17. Taking a look at your forecast for the week ahead, 86 for Friday and Saturday. We're going to have a little bit warmer temperatures for Monday and Tuesday. We're going to start feeling a little bit like fall. Wednesday, I should say, 79, and Thursday, 80 degrees. Again, guys, we're not seeing a lot of rain yet. We're going to hopefully have some showers come through, but I think we're trying to hang on to the fall, or that summer feel for a while, and then move on into fall. Halloween and all that stuff is coming, so some Keeneland and everything.
Starbucks is already serving pumpkin spice latte.
It is. It's coming.
So.
I love the fall weather. I'm ready for sweater weather.
I know, right?
Sweater
Definitely.
weather.
For sure.
All right, thanks, Chad. Now let's send it over to Kenzie Thompson with Eagle Athletics.
Your home for the Morehead State Eagles, this is NewsCenter Sports.
MSU junior quarterback Austin Gehafer earned the Pioneer Football League Offensive Player of the Week. He threw for 447 yards and 4 touchdowns and also caught a touchdown pass last week against Virginia Military Institute. Gehafer now has nearly 6,000 passing yards and 40 passing touchdowns in his career. 2 of the 4 touchdown passes Gehafer threw last week went to senior slot receiver Justin Cornwall. Cornwall had 9 receptions for 154 yards receiving. He also contributed big in special teams, racking up 115 yards on 4 kick returns with a long of 58 yards. We caught up with Cornwall to talk about how he prepared for the game and what the Eagles have to do to get their first victory this weekend after falling to VMI 43-40.
Well, against JMU the week before, I really didn't have a good game, so I had to make up for what I did that week. So I just prepared, and I did a little extra preparation by, reading over my plays and reading the coverages, watching a little bit more film, and that allowed me to have a good game. I've been playing with Austin for 3 years now, and he's like another Zach Lewis, you could say. He's a process in the making, and he makes the right reads, and he knows what he's doing back there. So I just try to help him out by catching the ball. We just have to finish the game. Coach T knows that we can play hard and knows who we're playing for, so we just have to finish the game. Before Coach Mullins passed away, he was my slots coach, and he coached us very well, and he told us, and everybody knows the infamous phrase of his, it's okay to smile and play football, and that's what we just try to do as a team out here every day, and we think of him, and when we go out there this Saturday, we'll be thinking of him.
Morehead State Eagles kick off their home opener this Saturday against Kentucky Christian University at 7 p.m. The game has been designated as a whiteout in honor of Craig Mullins, the MSU offensive coordinator who passed away last May from lung cancer. Whiteout t-shirts will be available at the game for $10. A portion of the proceeds from the t-shirt sales will benefit the fight against lung cancer. The Morehead State volleyball team suffered 2 losses last Friday when they battled against Washington State University and Utah Valley University. In the game against WSU, the team lost the first 3 sets of the game 25-19, 25-19, and 25-15. After the quick defeat in the first set, the Eagles tied the Cougars at 19 in the second set. But when Morehead sophomore Allie Evans had an unfortunate service error, WSU went on a 6-0 run, resulting in win 2 for the Cougars. WSU was then able to push through to the next set to win the match 3-0. Although the Eagles struggled, freshman Meredith Jewell had 14 kills in the game, providing a lot of the offensive support for Morehead. In the second match against Utah Valley, the Eagles fought hard, but UVU unfortunately took the first set 25-13. In the second set, The Eagles started off with an early lead at 11-9. However, the Wolverines made a comeback, resulting in a clean sweep to win the match 3-0. Freshman Meredith Jewell had 15 kills in this game, and freshman Jordan Jones had a career high of 24 assists. I spoke with head coach Jamie Gordon, and here's what he had to say about Friday's games.
You know, we've been dealing with a little bit of adversity this season. We've had some injuries. We've had some young players that are needing to step into some roles. I felt this weekend our team did a really nice job of improving, answering the challenge. Of course, we want to win, but I think that we're improving it. Well, I think we need to get better at maintaining a level of consistency. I think especially with our transition offense, we did a nice job defensively of getting the ball up, but we've got to turn those into points. And how well our attackers can transition themselves, they're ready to make an attack and make an approach is critical for us, and I think that's something we could have done better. I think we're starting to gel as a team. That's one of we've got a large freshman class, we've got some good returners, but when you have those players that haven't necessarily played with each other, it takes a little while to just get that comfort out on the court, and I think that was something that we really showed this weekend, is we're starting to defensively really get some balls up and keep some rallies going that we hadn't been in the first 2 weekends, and so I think that's something that we'll have opportunity to build on. You know, I think our serve game has to be at the consistent level that I think it can be, and we can really put on some good runs of aggressive serving and really get our opponents out of their offense and out of their rhythm. And I think if we can maintain that consistency, that'll help us against some really good opponents this weekend, and then especially going into conference play.
The Eagles can be seen playing again on Friday, September 18th at 2:30 p.m. versus Akron. And now for NewsCenter's famous sports trivia. What volleyball player was named OVC Newcomer of the Week for the first 2 weeks of the season? Was it A, Bailey Nickel, B, Meredith Jewell, C, Danielle McCarson, or D, Stacy Silver?
I like B on this one.
I'm going to have to go with B.
Sure, B. Well, you're right. It is B, Meredith Jewell.
Wonderful. Well,
congratulations, Meredith.
Yeah, thanks, Kinsey. We're going to have more news after the break.
Hi, I am Natasha Davis, the Associate Professor of Dance here at Morehead State University. Under the Dance Minor program, you will learn a variety of genres of dance, including tap, ballet, modern, jazz, hip-hop, African, dance composition, dance improvisation, dance history, intro to dance, and Pilates. If you are interested, you can become a member of our National Dance Honors Fraternity, Delta Chi Xi. This fraternity offers students the opportunity to spread dance not only on our campus, but throughout the community. If you're interested in any of our classes, please come and contact me, Professor Natasha Davis. And never miss a chance to dance.
Yo, why are you looking at bags, bro? What you need is a chick magnet. You put me in the room and boom, chicks. That's what I'm talking about.
Morehead State University's Office of Career Services held a resume blitz on Tuesday and Wednesday in Aduc. NewsCenter reporter Courtney Howell has the story.
It's the golden ticket that admits college students into the workforce after they graduate. It's a resume. I caught up with career advisor Megan Boone to learn more about Morehead State University's Resume Blitz.
The Resume Blitz is an event that we do each semester, and it's really designed for a student to get employer feedback on their resume. So we bring in employers, it's a one-on-one, you sit down with them, they look at your resume, they offer advice to improve it. These employers are volunteering their time to be here. And occasionally they'll say, hey, we've got an opportunity, why don't you polish up this resume and send it over to us? But it's really about helping a student improve their resume. At the Fall Resume Blitz, we're going to have on Tuesday Cintas, Enterprise, as well as Fastenal. And then we've got a different mix of employers on Wednesday. We have Farm Credit Mid-America, Hope Hill Youth Services, as well as State Farm.
So we are a $21 billion agriculture lending cooperative based in Louisville, Kentucky. We cover Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, and Ohio. And we are always looking for top talent to join us through our internship program and our full-time entry-level employment opportunities. The biggest thing I'm looking for is really an introduction to who they are and what they've been doing. Another thing I'm looking for in a resume, which is really difficult to discern, is time management. I want to see how are you handling being a full-time student or even a part-time student? Are you working part-time or full-time in addition to that? Are you involved in things that are really requiring a time commitment and a lot of critical thinking to balance your priorities and manage your time appropriately? One thing I would say about resumes is you don't have to have a resume that speaks to every specific job. You may want to customize your objective, but when it comes to really getting specific, make it a cover letter. Tie that cover letter back to the specific job requirements and the job description, and help me understand exactly why you're applying for that position over another.
Reporting for NewsCenter, I'm Courtney Howe.
Abstraction's art exhibit is now on display at the Claypool Young Art Building. NewsCenter reporter Jacob Valerio met with the gallery director Jennifer Reese to learn more.
The exhibition is called Abstraction, and it was curated from a national pool of artists. Artists that are working in different media like ceramics, textile, printmaking, painting, but that all have the common theme of being abstracted imagery or even non-representational, which what that means is that these are forms that sort of stand alone. They may refer to something in real life, but there's usually not a narrative, and it's usually about form and color and shape more than, say, like representing a tree. We have two visiting artists associated with this exhibition. We have Jonathan McFadden, and he is a print media professor at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. So he is coming in next week. He'll be talking to our Understanding the Visual Arts class, he'll be meeting with the Digital Foundations class, and he'll also be talking to the Arts Entrepreneurship class. Then the next week, the 2 to 3 days right before fall break, we're going to have Brian Jensen come in, who is our ceramicist in the exhibition.
An Ashland man is facing several charges after firing a gun inside a home along the 300 block of Ferry Street. Ashland police say they responded to a domestic violence call at the home about 9:30 p.m. Monday. Police say as officers were speaking to neighbors, they heard a gunshot inside the residence. They determined the only person inside the house was 58-year-old Timothy Moore. Police say earlier Moore held a caregiver and her neighbor at gunpoint for a short time before they were allowed to leave the house. Ashland Police, Boyd County Sheriff's Department, and Kentucky State Police secured the surrounding area and tried to make contact with Moore. When those communications failed, the APD SWAT team entered the home and found Moore inside with a pistol and a shotgun. Moore was taken into custody and charged with wanton endangerment and unlawful imprisonment. Police say Moore has an extensive history of health problems. No one was injured in the incident.
2 weeks after he fell off a cliff at Lockheed, Trevor Potter is back in class. The 18-year-old honors biomedical student returned to class last week after falling 40 feet at Lockheed in Rowan County on September 1st. Lockheed is a popular hiking destination near Moorhead. It has an altitude of 1,273 feet. Potter was hiking with 5 friends when he slipped. He fractured his arm, sinus, and skull and suffered a concussion. Potter was flown to the University of Kentucky Medical Center that evening. Potter's friends flooded social media with words of encouragement and support. Potter told MSU's Trailblazer, quote, "It warmed my heart to realize how many people cared." Potter, who is seeking a career in psychiatry, said he's now focused on catching up on homework and quizzes. He's also ready to return to one of his favorite hiking destinations. He says he doesn't feel afraid and wants to see where he fell from.
Well, that's all the news that we have tonight. You can find it on msutv.net or on Facebook and Twitter.
And always catch us up next week on NewsCenter.
On behalf of Chad Hedrick with weather, Kenzie Thompson with the sports, and the rest of the NewsCenter team, I'm Jacob Miller.
And I'm Mary Dameron. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.